That tree right there would give you a nice straight line, and you would pretty much have a nice square loop, and you don't have to add any length. I'd keep it as square as can be, as equal the size you can get. And the height you are, that thing ought to perform really well every direction. And as you move up the band, I think you've probably seen that in the modeling. Your lobes grow in number. The higher the band you go, so it just goes everywhere, which is the beauty of a loop. There are others that'll perform really probably well, a little better, of course, direction, but it's a nice all-around antenna. And that's what I'm thinking of. Just a simple dipole, not dipole, but point down. Center fed, so from the corner up about, with a pretty good look takeoff angle, so I think, it's mainly two-directional. This main loops come off the broadside, but, if you can train that properly where you're wanting to go, for me, that's east and west, and that's...
Hello, test.
Good copy, Brian. WB4ARK.
I'll get those files for Congress now. How nice if you post it over, so...
I'm sorry. Steve.
Okay, buddy. N4LQ. You're sounding good.
Find out where that thing ends at, but I hadn't looked at it close enough, so... Anyway, you're on your way, Ted. So good deal. And I didn't realize you had that 600 retouch, that one wire back on there, so that's good. Did you notice any major changes in where it was, or did you get a chance to do that KC9QGE with M9TZU? How do you guys do?
Yeah, very good, Terry. Well,
some spots easier than others, as they always are. 175, there, knucklehead, man, it made it fall in like no other. I mean, it's a really good match. It's a below a 2. It's down like 1.5 or something.
It's in the double ones, 1.5, 1.6, that's the north. On the secret 10, yep, 1.2. Up on the wind. It's 1.3 or 4. Either one of you went to 29.3 all the way down to 28. It's 1.3, which is a big improvement. It used to be a 2.5. 40's great. I don't remember. It's low. It's lower than it was. I can't remember what it is, but I know it's lower. Also, of course, 3630 is worse. 1944 after 19. Now, that being said, I will tell you, I can't say this for sure. They got near the noise. That was coincidence. But I can tell you, the band was super quiet.
Good morning, Steve, W4KR.
Good morning, Stan.
Yeah, you're 5'9" plus over here, Steve.
Oh, yeah, you are too.
Hello, CQ. Hello, CQ. CQ, the old friend's net. This is W4MEC Net Control for the Old Friends Net. And the Old Friends Net meets 3 times a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m., Sundays at 4 p.m. all on 3715. The Old Friends Net is Amplitude Modulation only, and while centered on people that restore and use old gear, anybody that can generate an AM signal is welcome to join. The Old Friends Net is also in the old-fashioned round table style, so I'll take check-ins and a couple times throughout the net, and everybody will get a chance to make a transmission. So it's a great place to sell stuff, buy stuff, or get some information, or something you might need to fix something. So, participate today. Give W4MEC a call. Come now.
Good morning, Charlie. WA4LLR.
N4LQ.
4ARK.
KZ4 Bravo.
WB4NKL. W4KR.
W4DCS.
Even though
Or JAL.
Okay, I'm not sure if I heard a double there with Buddy. Had a carrier beating against him. We'll see who I missed. So far we got Dave, WA4LLR, Steve N4LQ, Buddy, WB4ARK, John KZ4B, Cliff WB4NKL, Stan W4KR, Doug W4DCS, and Jimmy K4JAL. Who am I missing? Who was the double?
WA4EVK.
Anybody else?
Or Boone.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Boone, you there?
Yeah. WA4EVK, you copy?
I did that time. I didn't hear you before. All right, anybody? Yeah, Reed, I got you okay. Judging by your signal strength, I'm going to put you up here at the top here. So here's our roster to go down here. We got Dave. We got LLR, LQ, CQH turns it over to ARK, 4 Bravo, NKL, KR, DCS, JAL, and EVK. Finish the rest of that. Good morning, fellas. And raining here in Henderson County, and supposed to get rain, I think, most of the day. So at least it won't be 41 inches of it, I hope so. Let's get started with Dave. WA4LLR, W4MEC, and the Old Friends.
Okay. W4MEC and W4LLR. Good morning to everybody. We've got about 38 degrees, light rain, kind of a chilly, breezy, a day to stay inside, and next to radios that glow in the dark and warm you up. Running the RT-13 and the R390A, and just enjoying being inside where it's warm and dry. Hope everybody is doing well today. So, Steve, down to you. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
All right, Dave, WA4LLR, N4LQ. Yeah, well, everybody's got really strong signals here this morning, and that's a good thing because we need it. And it's been raining here all morning. I'm not sure how much we had. I think we're supposed to get about 3/4 of an inch by the time it's done. It's 43 degrees in Shelby, and tomorrow's going to be up in the 60s again, so get back to normal. Running the the SDR rig into the 3-500s and putting out about 300 watts carrier. So Reed, how copy? W2CQH N4LQ.
We finally have some meaningful rain here after a month of drought. I put my non-calibrated under the rain bucket this morning and detected a lot of water, and it's still raining. So, welcome rain. WB4ARK, W2CQH.
W2CQH, WB4ARK. Okay, Reed. I've got a very nice copy on you on my ARR15 receiver using the ART13 this morning. And we have a light rain, I guess you might call it a drizzle. We had 0.06 inches since it started, since yesterday at 7 o'clock. And I guess we're looking for about the same conditions as everybody else. Moderate rain showers today with pretty cool temperatures in the 40-degree range. It's 40-something right now, 46 I think it was the last time I checked. And so that's the scope on that. And so we'll turn it back over to the noisy net. KZ4B, WB4ARK.
Okay, WB4ARK in the group. The Yellow Froggy KZ4 Bravo here. And the weather the same here as it is everywhere else, I guess, today. Rainy. We're glad that we got our lawn mowing in yesterday. The grass needed it, plus there was a ton of leaves. And it certainly wouldn't work today, and probably be too wet tomorrow. And we're on the usual T150, driving the AL82, which is a pair of 3500Zs, and the antenna is a resonant 80-meter dipole, up about, I'd say 65 or 70 feet at the apex. So, that's it from here. Over to Cliff, WB4NKL, KZ4B, over.
KZ4B, WB4NKL. Okay, John, sounding good on the T150 today. Copy and read real well, so the signal and band's in pretty good shape. I'm running ART13 again today, and got rain. It started raining in the night sometime, and we've got about 0.3 of an inch so far. And I think it's supposed to continue on through today, so I guess it's a good day to stay inside. I got some lawn mowing finished up there yesterday, hopefully the last time this year, and some leaves taken care of. So maybe that's over with for the season. So I'll send it on around. Let's see, it's going to Stan, W4KR, WB4NKL.
Okay. Good morning, Cliff. WB4NKL. And the old friends, W4KR. Well, interesting morning here. It's raining here. Temperature's 45. And it's raining and 45 degrees, and it looks bleak outside. I was going to take a run up to the trash convenience center today, but I think we'll put that off till the rain stops. No real need to do it today. Cliff, I've got the problem
either of the rectifiers. Not either of the rectifiers. So it's I gotta take it apart, flip the chassis upside down, and look at what makes that relay click in. It'll run okay in the VFO and intermediate stages. It's only when you want to bring in that high voltage relay that 4 amp fuse 4 amp fuse turns black in a hurry. Anyway, we'll get to it. Always something. Like we said in our previous conversation, the easy look-see was done. Let's see. I'm running when I started listening here early this morning, about quarter to the hour. I decided, nope, it's time to turn on the SDR rig this morning. So I'm transmitting on AM but listening on upper sideband, and nothing is heard on the lower sideband side. The sucker really cuts off. So copying everybody. Read your signal over here in South Carolina is pretty good this morning also. Doug, up to you. W4DCS, W4KR.
Okay, Stan, fine business. Great copy on all. W4DCS, Winston-Salem. And I'm doing something similar. I'm transmitting on the ART13, listening on the SDR. I just tuned it up a little bit, 3716, so I don't have to listen to the sidebanders down below us there. And yeah, good band conditions. Not a whole lot to tell here. Had the deck painted yesterday, and hopefully it dried enough that this rain isn't going to mess it up. YL was up in D.C. at the White House yesterday and got back in last night, so she got delayed a little bit, but made it in okay. So all is well here, guys, and good to hear everybody this morning. Jimmy, here you go, W4J, I think it's K4JAL, W4DCS.
W4DCS in the group, K4JAL. Well, sidebanders have been wearing me out because I'm on this SDR console, and I haven't really figured the filtering out on it yet, but loving the ART13. Those audio files around might think I'm too hot, but the mic I've got doesn't have a pot to adjust the to adjust the current. It's a D104 amplified with no pot, but I'm having a great time with this radio. Thank you, Buddy and Cliff and John and Boone and everybody that contributed to get me on here. So much for that. I think I'll give it to Boone. WA4EVK, K4JAL. Over to you, good buddy.
K4JL in the group, WA4EVK. Well, Jimmy, you're quite welcome, I'm sure, from everybody. Like the sound of those. I'm running the AF68 into a Swan amp, and in self-defense on the noisy band running the my SDR play receiver with all the noise reduction turned on. Pretty noisy here. Got up this morning to a chilly 42 and rain. So that kind of describes it. I agree with Stan. I had a couple things planned outside, but that isn't going to happen. I am on a different antenna this morning than usual. I'm on my 80 through 10 end-fed. Got that going. Looks like the SWR agrees with the linear and everything, so that's about it here. And I if I've got it right, it goes back to Charlie, W4MEC, WA4EVK.
Very good, Jimmy. Very good, Boone. WA4EVK and the old friends, W4MEC. Anybody else like to join us? Call me. Give me a call. Didn't hear anything. It's WR4MEC and the old friends. All righty. Well, we're in the house and running the Apache and the Mohawk. The sideband was in there, but everybody was over the top of it. Maybe it's closer to Reed and Boone than it was me or something, but RX1 had no issues copying. So you never know with the sidebanders because of the distance and whether they're running 1,500 watts to talk across town or something like that. So, but if they don't yell at us, I guess we can live with it. Let's see. What else here? I picked up my sister-in-law from the airport yesterday. She's has a little visit with us for about a week, and she and my wife are going to South Florida to a wedding, and they're going to drive down there. And when she comes, when that's all over, she's going to drop her off down in Gainesville on the way back. So that was the plan there. But she had a good flight. She got some amazing pictures out the airplane window coming into Asheville. Amazingly clear, and didn't even get the window frame in it. She did so well. She did get one with the shot of the wing because the plane was banking. It's a pretty neat picture. But I was looking at most of it, and everything was brown. I guess leaf season is officially over. There was no color whatsoever you could see on the ground in that area, but it might be because there weren't any leaves on the trees. Our trees were even standing up because of the storm, but good shots there. And they'll be leaving out, I think, Tuesday next week, something like that. And hopefully they make it down there okay. But there's one caveat to that. There's a little storm down in the Caribbean. And they have one projection going right over South Florida, basically right over where the wedding's going to be. So they're watching the projections on that and see if it's going to develop into a hurricane and make a U-turn and head towards South Florida. So they might not be going anywhere. So a few more days will tell. Let's see. All the rigs sound good. Jimmy, your ART-13 sounds well. I have the same issue on mine in that I have a amplified D104 thanks to the donation from Steve, and the pot is actually turned completely to zero, and it's still overmodulating a little bit. So I'm going to not talk so loud or talk so close, but I can see it on the scope clipping a little bit. But and a regular mic is just quite not enough. So maybe Steve put a turbocharged amplifier in that thing. Who knows? Back to Dave, WA4LLR in the group, W4MEC.
Okay, Charlie. W4MEC, the old friends, WA4LLR. All right, good copy on everybody. 5 ART-13s this morning. That's a pretty good number, and they all sound good. Boone, the 80 through 10 infit's doing a good job. You're nice and loud up here today on your AF68. Doug, I hope the deck painting wasn't hurt by the rain. And John, the T150 always sounds good. Buddy, I would sure like to see one of those AR-15s in operation. I don't think I've ever seen one in person. Reed, glad you got the needed rain, and believe it or not, we needed rain too, even after the 30 however many inches we had 6 weeks ago. Florida wedding. It's been an interesting hurricane season for sure, Charlie. I hope the wedding party is spared and your sister-in-law and wife get to go down there and enjoy it. Hope that one fizzles out or goes somewhere else. The hurricane, I mean. Let's see here. Space weather is pretty calm. Sun's kind of taking a snooze, evidently. Sunspot count's 109. Solar flux index is 150, and the K is 1.3. So not a whole lot going on at the moment. A few items from this day in history. On this day in 1972, Dow Jones Industrial Average closed above 1,000 for the first time. I remember that. I was working with Baxter Laboratories in industrial engineering. I remember everybody talking about the Dow Jones topping 1,000. On this day in 1969, Apollo 12 was launched on the second mission to land on the moon. On this day in 1948, Prince Charles was born. On this day in 1935, King Hussein of Jordan was born. And that stands out to me because I can remember hearing him on the air, for he was a ham operator. Never worked him, but I heard him a few times. On this day in 1915, Booker T. Washington died at age 59. I'm sure most of you remember Booker T. Washington from school. And on this day in 1889, American journalist Nellie Bly began her around-the-world race trying to beat the record of Phineas Fogg in the Jules Verne story of Around the World in 80 days. She completed hers in slightly more than 72 days. So that's pretty much it for this day in history. So, back down to you, Steve, N4LQ, WA4LLR.
Okay, Dave, WA4LLR, N4LQ. Yeah, I remember King Hussein. He was QRMing me one day, and I told him to QSY, and he got out of the way, man. Yeah. The ryegrass here is beautiful. We planted ryegrass about a month ago on the front yard, and that does really good in cold weather, cool weather. And it's popped up and it's bright green, and I need to cut it. And I'll probably be cutting it all winter. Last time I did this, that's what happened. And it's cheap and easy to do. Let's see, Doug, we'll find on that. I guess it's your XYL. You said YL. I'm not sure. It went to Washington, D.C. Interesting. I wonder if it's some sort of a state secret what she does there, or if she's some sort of diplomat. And Jimmy, okay on the SDR console. Well, I can tell you, if you look at the screen, you'll see the pass band, the band limits on each side of the center. You'll see a kind of a vertical line. Just take your mouse, and let it hover over the edge. So if you want to do the left edge on lower sideband, you just bring your mouse over there, and you'll see it change color and become red or something when you get your mouse in just the right place, and then hold down the left mouse button and drag that passband either more narrow or wider, whichever way you want, and that's how you adjust it. And Boone, the new antenna's 30 over here, man. That thing's rocking. Really great signal. And Charlie, the D104 that you got from me, that is the model that does not need a transmitter. So just unplug it and push the mic button, you'll be fine. So Reed, how copy down in Georgia, W2CQH, N4LQ.
N4LQ, W2CQH. Well, everyone is S9 here in the rain. Temperature is 49 degrees, according to the email. And I'm on the usual ART13 transmitter and the BC348 receiver.
That's interesting.
And coaxiating a half-wave dipole antenna, getting some splatter from the local Atlanta net. which meets on 3725 kilohertz. And a couple of those guys have pretty wide signals. Anyway, on to yes, Dave, and about history. I remember the Apollo missions. We were glued to our television sets then, unlike today where there's talk about SpaceX, but none of the SpaceX work is shown on television. You have to go to the internet to see it. So WB4ARK at W2CQH.
ARK. Okay, Reed. Still got a good copy on everybody, even over the sideband noise here. Pretty high noise level today for some reason. There was one station that was like next door, and I think they're from up north. Heard them on before. Let's see. The antenna boom is doing quite well. You've got a very good signal coming into Lake Wylie today, and the microphone. How is that going to work? A wireless microphone? How is that going to work on this ART-13? I'm confused about that, Steve. Anyhow, any of those mics that have a pot that doesn't function, you should be able to turn your volume completely down on that microphone with that pot. If it's working correctly, there may be something wrong with that circuit. I've got a number of schematics on circuits for the D104. It's they're varied, and but the pot should function quite well. Yeah, you need to make sure it doesn't kick up over about, into the yellow area on the right-hand side where it says MCW. You want it to kick up to about that point, and if it's going over that, then hold the mic a little bit further away from your mouth, and or speak a little softer into the mic. That would help a bit. So let's see. Yeah, and thanks for the accolades on getting the ART-13 going. And finally got it going, and we've got 6 on today. So that's miraculous. To have 6 of those units on. So we got Dave, we've got we would have 7 if we had Charlie on. So we've got mine, and we've got Reed, so that's 3. We've got WB4NKL is 4, W4DCS is 5, and Jimmy is 6. So that's pretty good for the ART-13s. I think that's probably the most this net has maybe ever had. And we'll have another one on soon. So with that, we'll turn it back to John. And John, you've got a good signal into Lake Wylie today, so you've got your audio problems taken care of. So
KZ4B, WB4ARK. Okay. WB4ARK and the group KZ4B. Fine business there, buddy. Good signal also. Conditions are quite good today, that's for sure. Reed, you're down around 3714 or lower, and you may be on a crystal, in which case forget it. I understand. But the sidebanders were bleeding in rather severely when we first got on, and I just went to narrow bandwidth on my PR30, and that took care of it. So they're not splattering, they're just close. But, and it's only one or two stations, pretty generally no interference at all. And Boone, you're coming in the best I have ever heard you. You're just really booming in here. So, congratulations. That infed, I guess, is really doing the trick in this direction, to say the least. And let's see, what else did I have? I guess that's enough. So Cliff, take it away. WB4NKL and the group KZ4B.
KZ4B is WB4NKL. Looks like the ART's drifted down about 200 cycles low, but it keeps going down. But it's close enough. I was going to say to Stan, I wonder if the wiring has been changed to where that when you key that transmitter, that it's trying to pull all the current through that 4 amp fuse. That's the only scenario I could think of that would cause that, maybe. That's if it was trying to pull that plate power through the 4 amp fuse too. So I guess when you get into the bottom and start tracing it out, you might come up with something. Be good to hear it back on the air sometime. I don't have much more here. I'm going to go ahead and sign on this one. The wife's got to head out, so I need to talk to her a little bit before she takes off. So say 73s and enjoyed it. Thanks for calling it, Charlie. And I guess it goes on to stand W4KR, WB4NKL.
WB4NKL, W4KR. Okay, everybody. Cliff, yeah, there'd been some rework done underneath, and that's, I just finished taking the lid off and took the 4 big bottles out, and I'll take it around the workshop and pick it up. Thankfully, I got that little hoist, that little Harbor Freight hoist there that's tied to a couple of the rafters, so I can pick it up, flip it upside down, and take a peek, take the bottom off, and take a peek at the bottom. The only exercise I have to get is wheeling it over there, and pushing the buttons on the control panel for the hoist. So we'll get it. Yeah, we'll see what it is. I think you're pretty close. You're pretty close to what it is. But we'll find out. Yeah, I should. Today's Thursday. Unless there's a component that needs changing that I don't have, should have it back on the air by Sunday. And I've got my new supply of 4 and 8 amp fuses came in yesterday, so I'm in good shape. I can make 10 mistakes before I'm out of fuses again. Anyway, copying everybody well. Reed, I've noticed there are a couple of our friends up there on 25 tend to be a little bit on the wide side, especially folks out your way running DX100s. They tend to be a little bit on the broad side. Anyway, that's I bet about it. Thanks, Charlie. Glad it's interesting to see how the reports come back from South Florida. Back to you, Doug, and we'll see everybody. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, see if you're going to do Steve, if you're going to do a 73 round. I'll be here. W4DCS. This is W4KR.
W4KR in the group. W4DCS. Okay, Stan. Fine business. And yeah, everybody's sounding very good here. Pretty cool to have all the ARTs online today. They all sound good. And I was going to say, Jimmy, sounds okay to me, like it is. But if you would like to have that base repaired, you can just pull the head off and send me the base, and I'll repair it for you. Or if you have another base laying around, you can send it to me. I've got a bunch of those boards laying around, and I'd be happy to fix that up for you. So anyway, not much else to tell here. It's going to be a chilly, drizzly, kind of gloomy day. We need the rain though, so. And yeah, another storm headed towards Florida. Golly. I don't know when it'll ever end down there. I'm still on standby to put the old man, help him move into assisted living down there, and they keep delaying the closing, and I fear that this storm will possibly have an impact on that. So all I can do is hope that they quit all these delays and get him closed. And he's in a bind because he doesn't have the finances to handle it without getting his equity out of the house. So anyhow, Charlie, thanks for calling it. Enjoyed it this morning. And Jimmy, here you go. K4JAL W4DCS.
W4DCS K4JAL. Okay. I do have an extra base that I will send to you, Mr. Doug, and I really appreciate the offer. Thanks, Steve, for the info on how to narrow the bandwidth on this SDR console. Buddy, this microphone does not have a pot to adjust the power out. It's amplified, but I can't adjust it, but Doug's going to fix me up, it sounds like. I've backed off at least a foot away to try to keep the needle in the yellow, as you recommend, but it's very difficult to do. This mic is just too hot, so that's the way things are here. On a positive note, the power went off for about 5 minutes this morning, and my Kohler 26K came on and worked perfectly. So that's a good thing to know. Let's see what I do. I give it to Boone. WA4EVK K4JAL.
K4JAL in the group, WA4EVK. Well, thanks guys for the audio reports, or the signal reports. That helps. And Steve, what I did was just basically restore the existing antenna, the NVIS antenna that's at about 34 feet. And I was going to move it higher. I'm going to leave it right where it's at based on signal reports and put a higher one up. Steve and I have been discussing in-fed antennas again. They work real well for me. That antenna, where it was at originally, worked extremely well on 17 meters into Europe. Had a big lobe up that way to Central Europe, so I'm going to leave it alone. And with that, I'm going to send it back to Charlie. W4MEC, WA4EVK.
Very good, Ben. WA4EVK in the group, WA4MEC. If you have any check-ins that would like to join us now, come now. Okay, W4MEC in the old friends group. Nothing hurt. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still getting some splatter. I think it was them. I didn't bother to tune up and look, but and I'm running, 3KC on the RX1, and I'm this far away, so that's some pretty serious splatter. So, and but I guess we can live with it. I thought all those guys were on that particular net, and their profession was radio engineers. So I think someone told me that one time. A congregation of ex-commercial radio engineers. Oh well, maybe they were wrong. And I sent that email out looking for the schematic for that AL1500, and everybody that's commented or sent one has all got the shunted LED showing up. So MFJ had to make voltage for those cube relays, and they did it two different ways, and I've got one. I don't know if it's the early model or the late model, to be honest with you, but it's kind of important on how to hook the relays up. So this is a replacement set, and I've asked W8JI about it. He takes a while to answer. Maybe he will. I just want to be sure, and I might have to go back and draw a darn schematic to see how it compares to the one everybody else has got. So he even said they used a kludge method of making that voltage, and I think JI was one of the primary designers of that amplifier, and I think maybe MFJ took a little liberties in making an improvement. So his model, I believe, used an open frame relay. A pretty simple setup, put ground to the coil, click, transmit. But MFJ got a little creative. And maybe folks didn't like the big clunk. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm still trying to solve that out. Dennis said no problem and get it done. So that's what we're trying to do for him, and hopefully it'll sort it out in a day or two. Let's see, any other things going on? I still minus connection between my shop where the ART13 is and the antenna in here where the antenna is, so where the feed point exits the house. And I'm having issues with that, and once I get that resolved, I can get back on there along with finishing my AC supply so I don't have to live with that clunk. I even thought about maybe separating out the 28 volt line to the ART13 that runs the relays and the ATU and the motors and the filaments, and put that on a separate 28 volt supply until I finish my other one, and that way it would go to transmit, but I wouldn't get the double clunk. Just the high voltage would come up slow. But anyway, we'll see if I run into issues with my AC supply or either it gets stalled. I might have to do that. So, and maybe we'll reach another point where there's I could be number 7 instead of not. So anyway, so we can do a 73 round, I guess. What we got? It's about a quarter till, and if we take our time, we'll end up right at 9 o'clock here. So let's see. Cliff checked out, and if anybody else did, I wasn't paying attention. WA4LLR in the group, W4MEC.
Okay, Charlie. Yeah, I believe Cliff's the only one that bailed. W4MEC, WA4LLR. All right, real good. Let's see here. Jimmy, a standby generator is a wonderful thing. I tend to agree with you. And boy, ours paid for itself during this hurricane. And from my perspective, your microphone sounds fine on that ART13, especially since you backed away from it just a little bit. But good deal on Doug fixing you up with a controllable amplifier. Not a whole lot more here. It looks like it's going to be a rainy day and a good day for snoozing or tinkering or whatever. So that's probably what we'll end up doing. Thanks for calling it, Charlie. I'll say 7-3. God bless. Lord willing, we'll catch up with you. This is Thursday on Sunday. So everyone have a warm, dry day and enjoy the inside. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. Yeah, I agree, second that emotion. Everybody have a great day today and stay dry. And I got a towel here ready for the dogs when they come back in and dry them off. They love to get dried off. Sometimes they'll go outside again just to get dried off again. Everybody is welcome to come by tonight and every night on our 160 net on 1864. If you can get on that band, we'd be glad to have you. We're kind of low on attendance here as usual. So let's see, that's about all I've got here. So 73s and over to Reed, W2CQH, N4LQ. Way down the band.
Me. Over.
He said what time to be 1864 net meet.
Oh, I was trying to tune him in. He's about 3 KCs down. The net meets at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Reed, over.
There's some capability on 160 meters. And, yeah, right now I've cut it down 2.7 kilohertz low according to the frequency counter. Well, I'm the third owner, at least the third owner of this ART13, which has been extensively modified. And the auto-tune function is long gone. So it's a pretty drifty rig. So with that, let me sign clear and get on with the day. The WB4ARK, W2CQH.
W2CQH, WB4ORK. Okay, Reed. Very good copy on your signal. If anybody picks up any kind of buzz or anything on my signal, it's my feedback in my headphones. I don't have my muting circuit hooked up yet. I'm going to get that done today. I got the schematic out, found out which pins need to be controlled, so we'll take care of that. 3715.9. So mine is drifted down a good little bit, as all ART13s do. Boy, mine must, this receiver ARR15 must be wide as a barn door. It is picking up all kinds of chatter on either side of our signal. There's some people that are right on frequency, and then there's some off to the side. I don't know. It must be 30 KC wide. This thing's something else. Well, let's see. I was going to make a comment about the power supply there, Charlie. That would be a good idea if you had another say 10 amp supply that you could feed the ART-13 with, that would put you off of the one that runs the dynamotor and let it be controlled by itself. That would certainly be helpful, because that's 10 amps that supply doesn't have to worry about, a continuous 10 amps, or 9 amps actually. So that would be a good thing to do. And let's see, Jimmy, yeah, you don't want to overdrive that modulation transformer. There's a lot of folks that have run real high power on that modulation transformer and gotten away with it for a short period of time, I would say. But if you drive that thing hard enough, you're going to ruin it, because it doesn't have the wiring diameter capabilities to run real high power. It will for a short period of time, but not too long. And it will destroy it. You might get lucky and get one that tends to hold in there for a while, but that's kind of iffy. I've had 2 go bad on my unit, and I don't overdrive it. So maybe I just got lucky in the negative sense. Had them go out on me. So anyhow, it's been a great net today, and so we'll turn it over to KZ4B, WB4ARK.
Okay, WD4ARK in the group. This is KZ4 Bravo. Fine business, buddy. Good copy as always. I've got a technical question for you. I'm a little confused. Tend to stay that way. I've got a Navy ATC ART-13 that I would have on the air, but the master oscillator, VFO if you will, auto drive unit on mine has crapped out, and so I can't use it. But I looked under the chart where the toggle switch is, where you switch between dynamic and carbon mic, and there's a volume control on mine. The Army ART, or the Air Force ART-13s, Army Air Force ART-13s, do they not have that volume control? Looks like that would be a way that you could vary the audio from the mic. Because mine absolutely, I just looked, has that. So if you don't mind, if I can feed it back to you and see what your comment on that is. WB4ARK and 4B, over.
KZ4B, WB4ARK. If it's to the left of the switch and it has numbers 1 to 6, that's your side tone volume control. Doesn't have anything to do with anything else, just your side tone, over.
Roger. Thanks for straightening me out. It's been so long since I've operated mine that I had forgotten, because I use an amplified D104 with a volume control and use the volume control. So that explains everything. Thank you. And I think that Jimmy sounds okay here. You know, he got plenty of modulation, but I didn't detect too much. And I don't know why Reed stays off frequency as much as he does. If it drifts, then it must be a VFO. And so that is a mystery as well. So that's all I had. Thanks for calling the net, Charlie. Enjoyed it today, as usual. And, oh, Steve, I wanted to make a comment that I don't get on the evening because it's right on top of Jesse. And I have a hard time tearing myself away when the political situation winds down. I will be more frequent on 160 meters because I do enjoy working down there. So, that's it from here. Take it away, Cliff. WB4NKL in the group. KZ4B clear but listening.
KZ4B, over.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
KZ4B, you copy?
Come again. My receiver has a delay on the mute. Over.
KZ4B, this is WB4ARK. If you have an oscillator problem, I would check the 837 tube. You could check it on a tube tester and see if it's functioning properly, but if you don't, then I would substitute that and try it again. Over.
Buddy, the problem is that the mechanical auto-tune is screwed up, so it's a mechanical issue. I don't know it's electrical. Over.
Okay, well, that's fine. All right. I think Cliff signed out, but go ahead anyway.
Thank you. Go, Cliff.
Stan.
I was just reaching for the switch, Steve. Thanks. WN4LQ. And the fading Thursday morning Old Friends Group, W4KR. Last transmission of the morning. Let's see here. Yeah, Reed, you're on 3712.7. Buddy, 15.9. John, 15.6. And quite wide, John. Thing is quite wide this morning. Anyway, that's about it from here. One thought. I acquired about a year and a half ago, acquired a real nice power supply for an ART-13. And no, I don't want to get rid of it because when I hear tell of an ART-13 becoming available that's in halfway decent shape, I'll join the crowd. So I won't need the power supply. Then it's an all AC driven power supply. That heavy as can be, but it works. With that, good morning, everybody. And that wide signal from up on 25 is coming from Sandy Springs, Georgia. Anyway, let's see here. Doug, I think you're still here, so here it comes, and 7-3s, and we shall see everybody. W4DCS, W4KR. Good morning.
Yeah, W4KR in the group, W4DCS. Okay, Stan. And you're sounding really good here as usual. And everybody making it in, I have a hard time with Reed. It's just, I think the distance and yeah, I have trouble copying Reed, but everybody else, Dope was booming in here, and everybody else sounded good too. So enjoyed it this morning. Thanks again for calling it, Charlie. And we'll swing it over to Jimmy and say 73. K4JAL, W4DCS.
W4DCS, K4JAL. Well, buddy, I'm off at arm's length now, and I'm able to mostly keep it in the yellow. But I'm going to retire this microphone from this rig and wait for Doug to get something else. I don't want to blow my modulation transformer. But I had a good time today and really love this radio. WA4 EVK, K4JAL, 7-3, guys.
Well, Jimmy, I think you signed there. Everything's fading out, and I'm going to get out of here pretty quick. The band's going away, at least on me. And Charlie, I have several of those 24-volt supplies. In fact, I found one last night, another couple of them. You're welcome to one of them. I'll be going up to Columbus in the next few days. We can talk about that offline, as they say, and figure out how to get that 24-volt supply to you if you want it. I sure don't need a big population of them. With that, I'm going to sign and say 73s to everybody and send it back to Charlie. W4MEC, WA4EVK.
Very good, Boone. WA4EVK and the group W4MEC. First off, no, I've got a supply I actually bought 2 years ago or so that I was going to use as the filament and supply for the ART-13, and instead of having to build a 28-volt supply with a transformer, I got a little switcher, about a 15-amp switcher, a Meanwell, and so I can use that, so no problem with that. And your antenna's S9 Plus here. It's doing quite well. I hear a good solid signal with didn't notice any QSB. So anyway, thanks for everybody that checked in today, and we will look for you on Sunday evening at 4 p.m. And I have been missing the 160 net because of late I've been getting in home late. I mean, my wife and I go out to eat later in the evening for some reason, and last night we got home with my sister-in-law. We went out to eat, got home too late to join the net, so I guess we're being, being urban or something, you know. But anyway, so it's been a timing issue for me, so maybe I can do better. Anywho, we'll see all you fellas on Sunday. Thanks for checking in, and W4MEC is shutting down the old Friends Net. Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling the net, Charlie.